Welcome back to Aweship, a team building focused podcast. Episode 21 is here. I'm here. I'm back to give you 21. I'm here to talk about an important subject for all companies and all businesses. Building a better team with the customer in mind. This is missing from everyday life. There are companies large and small that have forgotten who are paying the salaries or bills of that company. You see this every day. Trust me on that. Thank you to everyone who has returned and given me feedback. Any feedback is welcome. That is the only way that this podcast is going to become more enjoyable and usable for you, either the watcher or the listener. Please subscribe to my LinkedIn page or here on YouTube. You can also email me for consultation on your team or content suggestions. RA Enterprises is here to help everyone. Anyone who can learn, anyone can help. Over the years as the Director of Operations at Premier Logistics Partners, I've learned and seen how a good team can impact others. RA Enterprises is how I'm giving back, as well as my wife, how we're helping others, how we're serving them. And at the same time, this will make me a better person, a better husband, a better dad, a better coworker, and a better boss or leader within the company. Now, I just brought up Heather. That's right. We have a new spin, as I sort of gave a tease on my last podcast. But she is now starting a little bit of a venture. She's going to come on the next podcast and talk a little bit about it. But things to help people, right? That's what we're here for. That is the nucleus. That is the fire of RA Enterprises, is the way that we can impact others. Today I want to talk about a little bit of a twofold subject. And I first want to start off talking about celebrations and celebrating, which also will then trickle into team buy-in and morale, right? So let's look at the definition. Celebration is the action of making one's pleasure at an important event or an occasion by engaging in enjoyable, It's typically a social activity, right? In the workplace, celebrations are special occasions that can recognize and appreciate employee achievements, milestones, and a personal event. Now, think about celebrations for a minute. Think of professional athletes in professional sports, and amateur sports at that, like the Olympics. Just think, sit back, lean in here. I want you to hear this. Lean in. It is your job as a business to celebrate your customers. It is your job as a director, a manager, an owner to celebrate your employees. If you do not celebrate your customers and your employees, you are left with a mundane job that nobody really truly wants to work in, or do for that matter. So I'm not talking about giving away money. I'm not talking about employee of the week or employee of the month. Those, to me, those don't really capture what you're trying to celebrate. You're trying to celebrate the greatness of an employee or a team. Within that, you're celebrating a customer. When a customer has an anniversary of a new building, anniversary of being founded, anniversary of a major accomplishment in their industry, depending on what they do, celebrate that with your customer. Send an email to that customer. Send them a gift. The more that you celebrate your customers will be like, golly, look at that vendor. That vendor is ingrained in us. That vendor really loves us as a customer. That will pay dividends in the long run. If you don't believe me, look at the statistics. I didn't look any up for this because this is just me giving my opinion. But I guarantee you there's statistics out there that talk about when you celebrate your customers, that your customers turn into loyal customers and they will not leave you when something goes wrong. They'll fight for you to fix it. They'll tell you, hey, you screwed up here, bubs. Fix it. And sure enough, you're going to fix it. Okay? But let's talk about employees. Let's talk about team. So I had the opportunity this last week to re-engage with an ex-employee. It's a really good conversation with this individual. And this individual knows who that person is, and I'm going to leave him anonymous at this point. But one of the things that that person is missing from where that person went is sort of the camaraderie that we have, that nucleus of fun that we have, that nucleus of belonging, that nucleus of being a part of a team that cares. When you go to a team or you enter an environment that is a different situation for you, not every company is going to be the same. Not every company is going to have a group that interacts the same. That nucleus, that energy, that pride will look a little different, and that flavor. So you have to figure a way to work through that to get yourself to where it's a lot better. Now, I will tell you, I do not have the secret sauce, but I will tell you the secret sauce is ding, 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 ding. Putting the customer first. Having the customer in mind. Building a great team with that customer in mind. If you put together a team, a great group of people with the common goal of celebrating that customer day in and day out, email after email, shipment after shipment in my world, order after order in some others' worlds, that is what you need. You need a team that celebrates together and has those fun, okay? Has that fun from the bottom to the top. But celebrate within your own core, within your own environment. Okay? Your company was founded, just throwing a day out here, October 1st. Every year, celebrate the founding of that company. Big, small, medium, it doesn't matter. One person or 7 million people. Actually, I don't, maybe Walmart's that big, but just saying. That should be a core item that you as a leadership team, as an owner, as a director, as a manager, you should celebrate across your environment, your team, your network, your company. Because when you do that, your employees will gain a responsibility of upholding what that company means. They will wear, so to speak, your company on their shoulder. They will work so hard for you, you won't even know it. All you will see is the customers be happy. And that's what it's about. It's about happy customers. It's not about upset customers. It's not about mad customers. It's about happy customers that are going to turn into loyal customers. There is a secret sauce in it. I don't have it. I understand it, and I'm practicing it the best I can in my current environment. And with the environments that I've come from in the past, I'm able to pull on those because those were great environments. If you can celebrate your team, nothing better than that. Okay, I talked about employee of the week or employee of the month, right? To me, those don't, that's just a name on the wall. And if you have a group of 20, 30, 50 employees in one department, you will usually look at that employee of the month plaque that sits out for everybody to see, and you will see a lot of the same names month after month, year after year. That doesn't celebrate people. You need to think about other things within their environment to celebrate. Celebrate their anniversaries, celebrate their birthdays. But at the same time, it's not like, oh yeah, we're just going to do everybody's birthday. It's in the month of October. Yay, happy birthday. No. Jim Bob has a birthday. Jane Doe has a birthday. Eric Ransom has a birthday. You call them out by name. When you call them out by name, it brings them and celebrates the human person they are and the member of your team. You have teams of people and of humans. If you don't celebrate the human person, that person's personality, you are missing the boat. That boat will never sail across the ocean. It will never deliver the cargo. It will sink like a rock. It is guaranteed. But don't leave people out either. Try and figure a way to equalize it the best you can. Every organization is different. Every organization is made up of different teams, different levels of teams. But you can't leave people out. At the same time, don't beat yourself over the head with the same employee or the same process. I will tell you from experience, that is hard to do. You will have a rock star on your team. You will have an absolute rock star on your team. And I'm probably going to have people come jumping out at me for saying rock star if you've been watching TV in the last 7 months. You will see the fact that there's an advertisement that in business we're not supposed to say rock stars. But let me tell you, they exist on every team. You have a rock star on every team. You have a baseman on every team. You have a home run hitter on every team. You have the one that strikes out. So you have to elevate that one that strikes out, that basement level. You have to bring them up. And the best way to do that is to celebrate them. All of that goes to morale. And I spoke about it in my last podcast. You want your team to interact. You want your team to talk. You want your team to be collaborative, right? And what have I always talked about, right? That pyramid, right? So think about it. That foundation, what you do in that level of trust at the very bottom of that pyramid from Patrick Lencioni is the fact that that is your basement. From there, you build up and up and up with that. You will not get out of the basement as a team or as an organization unless you build that foundation built on trust. The morale of your team, the morale of your company is vital. Celebrating everything is great. So in my business, we have a cowbell. I don't have it here at home, but we have a massive cowbell. It's about like that. It's black. Now, part of our mantras, and one of the things that I continue to do even in my department, is when good things happen, when you bring on new customers or you win a huge deal, you ring that cowbell. There's a skit by Saturday Night Live, and I've talked about it on other podcasts back from, I think, the 70s. Blue Oyster Cult has a song, Fear the Reaper. But there's a skit with Saturday Night Live that talks about more cowbell. Well, you turn it into more cowbell for your business. In a lot of brokerages around the country, they hit the gongs, right? So there's massive gongs, right? You walk up, you get a new customer, bong! Whatever celebrates is so great. Bring that level of enthusiasm up, that energy up, and your team will respond. Owners, I'm not speaking directly to you guys. Don't forget consistency. No double standards. Your team will see the double standards and they will react negatively to it. You will lose good employees because of double standards. Think about that before you act. That's just a caution, okay? Now, part of this, again, I wanted to talk about here, milestones. So we talked about anniversaries, employee anniversaries, company anniversaries, but personal events. Celebrate the birth of children. Celebrate marriages. Celebrate milestones in people's lives. Buying a home. If you relocate an employee, celebrate the fact that they relocated to where you're at. Okay? It's vitally important for that. Anything you do to celebrate your employees will pay dividends. You will get it back 50-fold. That is a guarantee. If at an anniversary, you give out a prize, I don't know, a little trophy that says, this is your 10th year, your 15th year, your 19th year, whatever, that's fine. But celebrate it in front of the entire company. Okay? You can do it if you're in a Fortune 100 or Fortune 50 or Fortune 10 company, you have tens of thousands of employees. Do it within your own department. Okay, directors and boards, have that trickle-down effect where everybody on their team is celebrated. That celebration is then shared across your organizations. You will see other people in other departments that have never met somebody celebrate for them. I'm speaking from the heart here. I'm speaking from experience. But more than anything, I'm speaking from a place of, I don't want to sound arrogant. I really don't. But I do feel that I've always done a good job in that. I have failed. I have flat out failed at this as well. But I think overall, I've created an environment in my department, in my current position, in my departments at several other organizations prior to coming to PLP, and what I'm doing with these podcasts. The level of engagement will go far beyond. We are in a weird place right now with our society. Just the different generations, the mix of generations in the workplace, the ones that are old school, the ones that are newfangled, the ones that want remote work, the ones that want in-office staff. Some want hybrid. Well, you can't have a remote worker in a restaurant. That's 100% impossible. But you can in an office. If you work in a call center for AT&T, you could work at home. Or you could be on the 32nd floor of some high-rise in some metropolitan city. Could work for a bank where you still have to interact with the public. But yet, bank interactions are way down from where they were. And not because of COVID. Because of technology. We have to be open to all of that and celebrate changes. Celebrate achievement. Celebrate over the top. Your customers will win. That's 100% guarantee. If you work your butt off to celebrate and have a great team that is just doing all these great things and paying attention to customers and serving customers, why would a customer move? Why would they go be treated like crap? They won't. Guarantee. Guarantee you do a great job with your team, building your team, grinding with your team, not working with your team, but grinding with your team. Your customer will win. Guaranteed. I've rambled enough. I've gotten sort of pointed on this one. Near and dear to my heart. It truly is. Because I have great guys and women that work for me and have worked for me in the past. Each of them gave a different characteristic and gave a different flavor and a different spin to my department. And those footprints and fingerprints are all over my department today. They're all over me. Again, I'm trying to be a better leader and a better person. And I want to help everybody be good. I want everybody to be successful. I do not want to see anybody fail. I don't care if they're in my vertical as a 3PL broker for freight. I don't want anybody to fail. Failure is never good. It's never good. Because at the end of the day, the customer loses. You might not take care of your books as well as you do your finances in your business. You might be overextended for whatever reason in your business. But if you fold, your customer loses because they have to go to another vendor. That vendor might not have the heart or care as much as you. So we have a humongous responsibility in our teams and in our environments. Now, I want to shout out corner this week is just crazy nuts. But it's to the volunteers that have donated their time and money and effort and items to the recovery effort for the Hurricane Helene that just came barreling through the U.S. a week and a half ago. North Carolina is devastated. South Georgia is devastated. Florida is devastated through the Big Bend area. And Augusta National, in Augusta, Georgia, they donated $5 million to the effort there in Augusta. Even though Augusta National was trashed for taking care of their community. Think about that. Think about that as you go through the holidays of the less fortunate. Who has toys? Who has food? Who doesn't? Donate. Volunteer. It's in everybody's best interest and in your heart as a person to give to others. Quote of the week corner. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% on how you respond to it. Lou Holtz, great coach of University of Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. Go Irish. I am an Irish guy, even though I got a Georgia Bulldog over there because I'm born and raised here in Georgia. So you either bled Bulldog or got squashed because the Jackets are the Jackets. Sorry, anybody that's a Georgia Tech fan. But yeah, Notre Dame first. Got my Leprechaun on my golf clubs. Got my Georgia G on my gun safe. But Lou Holtz, one of the greatest coaches who's ever lived. But listen, this is sort of how he broke it down. I listened to a podcast and he actually broke this down. And I wrote down these notes having to do with this 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it. Response to a loss is the most important. You can always control, you can't always control what happens to you on the field, but you can control how you respond to it. Keep getting back up after you get knocked down. In my world, that's rub some dirt in it. That's the only way you can improve and grow from a loss. It's so true. Think about everything you've ever done. Think about sales. Think about building up, with Lincoln Logs or Legos. This is actually really impactful, and I'm going to unpack this a little bit with my two daughters and have them watch the podcast that I saw this on. But yes, let's all think about that. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% on how you respond to it. Well, this wraps up episode 21, and I'm making a big deal about 21. I am, because look, I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and like it or not, there was a baseball player here and a football player here by the name of Deion Sanders. Now he's known as Coach Prime. But if you have the opportunity, there's a 30 for 30 series on ESPN about the day that he played football and baseball within the same day. So to me, it's just interesting that I'm on 21. You can pull different things from your own environment to sort of spice you up and get you going, right? But hey, drop me an email at the address above. Like and subscribe me here on YouTube or on LinkedIn. I look forward to your feedback and to suggestions from my podcast. Hope everybody has a blessed week. Thank you for watching and listening. Till next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.